Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today's a news update. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about. It's been a while, it's almost been a week since my last upload, so lots of stuff has happened, lots of stuff to get into. So yeah, let's get into it. The biggest news stories about us right now as we move into the summer transfer window. It's not quite us yet, but it's almost there. Obviously, we've already confirmed one signing, what we'll get into in a second. The Euros will also start this week, so yeah, everything's starting to heat up. Let's get into it. So, as I said, we already confirmed one signing. That is, of course, Tosin Adarabioyo. He has been confirmed quite a few days ago. That's my bad. I'm a bit late on this. But as we know, it's a free transfer from Fulham. Newcastle were looking like favourites, but we managed to pip them to it. And United did try a last-minute snatch. Man United did try a last-minute hijack, but he stuck to his word and he signed for us. And I said the other day, I think this is a really good signing, a really good bit of business. The thing is, one, we've got him for free. He can replace Thiago Silva like that. And what he brings to our team is a very well-rounded centre-back. He can play Enzo's style of playing out from the back. He's got excellent distribution, rather short or long passing. He's got height, so he can be able to defend aerial balls, and he's brilliant from set pieces. That is something that's going to be really big to this team and really big for defence, because we do really need that. I think that's something we could all agree we've struggled with at times. We've struggled with passing out from the back, we've struggled with height, and we've struggled from set pieces. So all three of those things would be really valued for the team, and we've picked this up for free. I mean, I really do think it's a good transfer, this Tosin Adarabioyo. I think it's quality business. He's someone, you can tell he cares about the club. You look at how, when he's joined in the interviews, he seems gassed. He said about his mother being how happy she was for it as well. I'm really liking this bit of business. I do think it's a quality from us. We could have gone out, we could have signed another centre back with maybe a bit more high profile for donkey loads of money, but we've got a Premier League experienced centre back for free. I think that's a really good move. And as well as we also know that there was teams like Newcastle and United both in for him, both looking at him. So we've also managed to pick two rivals or two teams where they're around the same amount, they're fighting for the same places as us. We've picked them to him as well. So yeah, I think this is a quality business. I'm really happy to have him in. So I might do a further video on it. I'm not sure. Hopefully in the coming week or two, I'm going to get a lot more free time on my hands. But yeah, as I said, Tosin Adarabioyo, welcome to the club. Very happy with it. Right, the next stuff is talking about signing a striker. This has been quite big in the last few days. It seems to be what's going up to be probably one of the main sagas of our transfer window. So, this is quite major. We seem to be in a position where it could be one of quite a few strikers come in. According to The Guardian, we want someone to compete with Nicholas Jackson this season, with him obviously being our only striker who was fit for the whole thing. And so there's multiple names on the list. We're going to go through them, go through what we're saying about them, and what I think about them, covering the three main ones. So yeah, let's get into it. So first off, Benjamin Sesko. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Sesko is expected to stay at RB Leipzig. He would not be leaving. There was interest from us, Arsenal, and a few others, but his decision is to stay and wait out his contract at Leipzig. Obviously, he's only been there a season. He was at Salzburg before, where he initially picked up interest between the likes of us and United, major English teams who were interested in him. He's then moved to Leipzig, keeping in the Red Bull system, and he's now expected to stay at Leipzig for at least another season, despite interest from us, United and Arsenal mainly pushing for him. So the next one's a big one, and it looks like he's starting to emerge as a possible favourite to be the next striker, John Duran. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Duran wants the Chelsea move. I mean, we've known this. Look at him on social media. He sucked us off completely. Every single post he's liked, honestly, he's begging for it. He's on his knees for it, to be honest. So Duran wants the Chelsea move. We know that. We have spoken to Aston Villa over him in the reports. We've spoken to Aston Villa over him. Aston Villa want 35 to about £40 million, so a lot of money. And then The Guardian have also picked up on the story saying there have been talks including Conor Gallagher's potential swap deal, but no, Aston Villa don't believe Aston Villa believe Gallagher is unlikely to agree to this. Villa do have interest in Gallagher, and they could see this move as a way to sort of help that come through. So John Duran, what are we saying about him? So he's played, I think it's 30 odd games this season. He's got 8 goals, but I think out of the you look at games he's actually started. I think he's started, was it 5 I read? I can't remember. I read a number, and the number starts making it look better. For me, we have to remember John Duran. He's younger than He's younger than Nicholas Jackson. He's got, I mean, I should say he has got Premier League experience. He hasn't got buckets full, obviously. I mean, he's been at Aston Villa for a season now, was it? I think he joined last summer for them, didn't he? So, yeah, I'm not totally sure on John Duran. I said he's younger than Jackson, so he doesn't really bring the experience we want. He's played second fiddle to Watkins this season. I think the majority of strikers in the league would have anyway, but that's something he's not happy about. We've seen he seems to have a bit of a problem with discipline. He's got picked up multiple bookings throughout the season. This was a major link in January, and I said in January I didn't want him. I weren't happy with it really, and to be honest, I probably stand by this now. Obviously, with the rumours going on, it seems like he's coming more and more likely to be the one, because he's the one we're actually in concrete talks with, or in at least some talks with. And I say he definitely wouldn't be my first choice. I just don't know if he's the sort of player. He seems like a really, really good finisher. I'll give him that. Like actual finishing ability, he seems to be really good. But the lack of experience, he's another young player. A lot of money on the table. 35 to 40 million is a lot of money on the table. Now I know a lot of people, when we signed Cole Palmer, 40 mil was a lot of money for a relatively unproven player. Shade to that here, I'm just not so sure. I've seen a very mixed reaction to him from the fans. So I've seen some who are definitely not, some who have said they've got a good feeling about him, or really appreciate the way he can he's a goal scorer. He will finish very well. So it's a very mixed feeling between the fan base about should we go for him, should we not. I would say overall I'd probably say we shouldn't. But I mean money wise, he's for a lot better price than all the other options, but the other options are more proven players. So it's a tricky one. It's a really, really tricky one. I said it's hard because he hasn't, he's not a man we've seen be first choice striker for a team this season, and before that he's playing in the MLS. So it's a hard one to really get a massive grasp over him, to be totally honest. But I'm not so sure on him, and that's my honest opinion. I'm not so sure on him. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it. I don't know what it is. I'm just not a fan of it. I definitely don't like the Gallagher swap deal. I think we have to keep Gallagher and Chalobah. They're two I think we have to keep. But yeah, Duran, I'm not sure on it, to be honest. What are your thoughts on it? Tell us, what are your thoughts? I mean, because he clearly likes the club, and as I said, he seems to be a very, very good finisher. But his play outside of just finishing, how can he link up with the team and stuff like that? Is that going to be up to standard? I'm not sure. Does he have the experience here? Is he the sort of player we need? Do we need another young, unexperienced striker to come to this team? Or do we need someone who's maybe done it a bit more on the bigger stage? It's a question of priorities. What do we need right now? Because you look at what we've got. We've got Jackson. Broja's probably leaving. We'll go on to that later. There's a good chance Fafana might leave or might go out on another loan. But realistically, if we want a player like Duran, do we already have that somewhere in the youth ranks? I mean, or somewhere, out on loan or whatever, stuff like that. Is he really the player we need? I'm not so sure. The next one, and the last striker we focus on, is Julian Alvarez. So last week it was widely reported that Alvarez could leave, with us, Atletico Madrid and PSG interested. But since I think it's all died down a bit since. I mean, according to Ben Jacobs, City don't want him to leave this summer. It could be up to £70 million to get a deal with a loan if anyone is going to try sign him this summer. There was a report the other day as well from The Athletic that Alvarez's ideal choice would be Real Madrid, but that's not going to happen this summer. Imagine if he goes to Real Madrid as well. I mean, what's the point? The attack they have, what is the point? It's ridiculous. There has been a PSG, an account on Twitter called PSG Report. I'm not sure what the reliability is, but they said PSG are the only team pushing towards the Alvarez move. City haven't given any green lights yet. So, Julian Alvarez, what we say on Julian Alvarez. So he's had 2 seasons in the Premier League now. Obviously, both sort of second field to Haaland, but this season, and I think season before as well, Haaland has some injury problems where he has got time in the team. We know what we can do. We've seen him in the World Cup. We've seen him in the Premier League. We've seen him in the Champions League. He's almost played in all big competitions he possibly could have. with River Plate City in Argentina. So we know what he can do. We know he's a very good striker. Apparently, there's chances he could be looking for more game time. He has came out and said in an interview that he's not too fast. He's just sort of letting it all happen. But we do know Alvarez. There are rumours, and there was rumours last season as well, that he could be looking for more game time. Now, I made a video based solely on the striker situation last year, and I highlighted Julian Alvarez as probably my favourite between him and Victor Osimhen, or the one I would prefer us to go to when it comes to starting striker. Now, for me, I'd probably still stand by that and probably stick with that, to be totally honest. One thing I would say is I'll take Victor Osimhen out the window. I'm not 100% if that's the right move, and it seems like the club don't think so either. Not because he's not a good player, but it just seems the money is just too ridiculous. But I say out of everyone, Alvarez is probably still, the one I'd probably go for. I mean, look at this. Tony just hasn't. He's never massively impressed me, Tony. He still doesn't. Watkins hasn't really been mentioned by anybody, so I don't think that's going to happen. Solanke's been linked. I think he has got release clause, hasn't he? But Solanke return. We've got John Duran, what we talked about. I'm not too sure. Benjamin Sesko staying. Gruikers, I don't know what's happening with Gruikers. Talk about Victor Gruikers joining has gone out the window. No, I haven't heard his name mentioned in weeks now. As I said, Osman's already seems like the club have written Osimhen off. So out of all the options, I really do like the look at Alvarez. Obviously 70 mil, a lot of money, but we know he's a world-class player. We do know this guy is a world-class player. So, as I said last year, I'm a fan of Alvarez. I probably stick by that. Do I think it will happen? No, but doesn't mean I wouldn't like it to happen. So next up, we're going to talk about another potential signing, Michael Olise. So first off, according to David Ornstein, the club's interested in Olise are being told to go to Palace and strike a deal, is what he's saying. The clubs what are interested in him are thought to be Chelsea, Man United, and possibly Man City as well. Well, I haven't actually seen that name being talked about much in links with Olise, sorry. But City, they could buy anyone probably, couldn't they? So, yeah. But according to Ornstein, the way to go around this is the club to agree a deal with Palace, and then Olise will weigh up and decide whether to go or not. So, obviously, last year there was a massive saga about this. There was a massive saga. We thought we had signed him. It all broke down. They sort of accused us of tapping up, quite big allegations, and it all sort of fizzled out. Nothing happened from there. And obviously we went on to get Cole Palmer, and he's been fantastic. Now, there was no report from Give Me Sport. Now, Give Me Sport, I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about Give Me Sport. They seem to cover a lot of sports. There are some credible people who sort of take note of them and, will report what they come out with. But I couldn't tell you how reliable Give Me Sport are, to be honest. But they have said Chelsea have agreed personal terms with Michael Olise. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. No one else. The point that no one else has reported this sort of puts it in doubt a bit for me, and it also sort of contrasts David Ornstein's report, because he's saying deal with the club and then deal with Olise. This is saying we've already dealt with Olise, so I'm not sure. So I think we need to wait for more people to report this to get excited about anything when it comes to Olise. Do we need Olise is the question. Do we need Olise? The club seem to want another winger anyway, and it seems like they have done for a while. But he has had injury problems in the past, a lot of them. There's a part of me that's worried that he could just be another player from the medical room all season. So I'm 50-50 on Olise, because I said I think he's a world-class player, and no one can take that away from him for sure. Obviously, Forming with us as well. But yeah, I think it's really interesting how plays. It almost looks definite he's going to move, but me saying that probably means he probably won't now. But yeah, I think this is one we just have to sit back and watch. There's not enough really for us to tell which way it's going to go. There's a lot of Chelsea fans who are going to say, we've reported one way. There's a lot of Man United fans who reported the other way. I haven't heard anything from City, but yeah, well, I think at least there's one which we have to sit on. We're going to have to wait, see what happens. He's not going to the Euros, is he? So there's a good chance this deal could be done during the Euros. Yeah, Michael Olise, it's a hard one to, hard to report on right now. I think the best thing to do is just sit and just wait. Let's see what happens with it. Let's just see what happens. But is Olise a player you want? He's a great player. So Armando Broja then. So first player we could want potentially leaving, Armando Broja. So according to Lowell Thomas of Sky Sports, Wolves, Everton, Southampton are all interested in Broja. Neither can go from right now though due to financial situations, and they're going to all have to probably sell first to buy first. Obviously we know Wolves were in financial trouble last summer. Southampton, I'm not too sure on Southampton's financial situation. I know they had a takeover in, what was it, 2 years ago? They got taken over by Serbians. And Everton, we know they're going through. I mean, they've been trying to sell the club for a while now, but it seems like in the last week or so, a consortium is potentially coming in to buy Everton. So, yeah, all three of them are doing whatnot with their financial situation. So it makes it a bit of a hard one to get over the line with these three. Ben Jacobs has reported that Everton are pushing. Apparently a £30 million package is being discussed. I mean, Gianluca Di Marzio still thinks there's a chance Broja could go to AC Milan. He said AC Milan is still a target for AC Milan this summer. Interested in that one. But the Athletic have also backed up the idea that it could be Everton who Broja goes to. They said there is dialogue between us and Everton over a deal. Everton will need to raise funds first, what is further back in Lyle Thomas's point. Also, there's no rush because Broja is paying in the Euros this summer for Albania. So, once again, this is another deal. It's not going to come over the line for. Well, I mean, with Albania, how far will Albania go? It probably affects it, but it's not going to be a problem for a few weeks now. We got to wait weeks for Broja to finish his Euros. Then we've got to wait for these up to sell to buy. So, Broja, I do think he'll go. I do think he needs to go, but the money, we're not sure, and when and who, we're not sure as of right now. But it's not going to be something what we're going to find out in the next few weeks. I don't think. I think something we have to wait on. I think 30 mil for Broja. Look, or 13 package for Broja at least. I quite like Broja. I was saying last season, or this season, I guess, we should give him more of a chance. But when he did start to get that chance, he just didn't really impress me. He went on loan to Fulham. He played. Did he even play? Was it 4 games he played? Or something. He didn't play. He didn't really impress. Obviously, they did have some strikers in very good form, but 30 mil for Broja. I mean, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked because, these owners, they struggle to negotiate sometimes, and they're going to get 30 million out of a player who, Broja. I mean, I think I'll take 50 million pound out of Broja. Once again, that's no disrespect to Broja, but based off, I mean, obviously with his potential. If he reaches his max potential, yes, he can be a 30 mil player. But what I've seen from him this season, 50 million out of him would be a decent job. So, if the clubs are willing to come with 30 mil, that would be brilliant. That would be brilliant. I mean, we saw him at Southampton, he looked very good. We've seen him in the youth academy, look very good. But 30 million for him, after this season, that would be brilliant. Obviously, that ACL injury didn't help him at all, and I feel for him for that. And obviously, I don't know what's going on with him personally. I don't know if he's ever really fully recovered from that. Last but not least, Andrey Santos. So according to The Athletic, we aren't looking to sell or loan him this summer. He's earned a spot in the team, and that is something I'm excited about. I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, look, we could have a really good package in midfield next season. Think we could have Caicedo, Lavia, Enzo Fernandez, Conor Gallagher, Andrey Santos, Leslie Gachukwu, Kyle Chukwuemeka. Now, that is 7 very young players, granted, 7 young, inexperienced players, but an exciting 7 players nevertheless. Obviously, half of them we've seen actually play for us. Some of them we've seen injured quite a lot with harmed us, and some we've seen bits of. Like Chukwuemeka, like Gachukwu, we've seen bits of them, and they've looked really exciting. Santos, we've seen him from Brazil, we've seen him at Strasbourg. Obviously, he went to Strasbourg, he had an instant impact, and he almost helped them turn their season around. That would be such an interesting depth, and also you've got the Conference League as well. More chance to rotate, more chance to give these players time to play. It would be very interesting. Also, there's Cesar Castro as well. I thought Cesar Castro. That's another one. That's another one. 8 potential young, exciting midfield players. It would be brilliant, but to be honest, will we see all 8 of them in the team next season? I don't think so. I think out of them 8 I've just mentioned, I think maybe at least one of them goes out on loan, or at least one of them gets sold, in all honesty. That's what I think. But that's something we'll have to wait and see, won't it? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that is it. Say big report. As I said, hopefully after next week I'll have so much more free time on my hand, or after this week, sorry, I'll have so much more free time on my hand. Thanks for watching. That's been your news. What do you think? Talk to me about everything. Santos, Broja, strikers, Olise, Tosin. What do you think of Tosin, Simon? Everything. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.